This is you, 18 years old, face down in the mud of no man's land at 2 in the morning. There is a dead man's hand touching your boot. There are 75 yards of open ground between you and the German wire. You are not moving. You are not making a sound. You are thinking about your mother's kitchen, the smell of toast, the sound of the kettle. When you are this scared and this still, your brain goes somewhere safe. It goes home. Let's go back. Because you didn't start here. March 3rd, 1916. The letter arrives on a Tuesday. Your mother's hands are still damp from the washing when she picks it up off the mat. Cream envelope, red crown in the corner. She sets it on the kitchen table, in front of your chair. She already knows what it is. Everyone does by now. You come downstairs. You see her standing at the window with her back to you. You sit down. You open it. Short sentences, simple words. His Majesty requires your service. Report no later than March 17th. Your mother doesn't cry at the table. She makes tea instead. She puts a plate of biscuits in front of you that you don't eat. That night, she waits until she thinks you're asleep before she cries. You are not asleep. You lie in the dark and listen to her through the wall and stare at the ceiling. You have never been further from home than Leeds. March 10th, the goodbye. Your mother packs your bag the night before. She folds everything twice. She tucks a photograph of herself in the front pocket without saying anything. In the morning, she walks you to the end of the street. She straightens your collar.
You write to me every week.
You say you will. You mean it. She watches you walk away. You don't look back. Not because you don't want to, because if you look back, you won't go. Training camp. Wiltshire. The sergeant's name is Briggs. He has a mustache and a voice like gravel, and he has already been to France. A lung wound brought him home. It left him with a faint whistle when he breathes in. He never talks about France. He doesn't need to. The whistle says enough. On the first day, a boy from Birmingham drops his rifle during drill. Briggs is in his face before it hits the ground.
Pick it up. That rifle is your life. Drop your life again, and I will make you carry it above your head until your arms fall off.
The boy picks it up. His hands are shaking. Nobody laughs. There are 40 men in your unit. Farmers, factory workers, a school teacher from Bristol, and Fletcher. Fletcher is from 2 streets over. You've known him since you were 7. He gets the bunk above yours and talks in his sleep about his dog. One night, 3 weeks in, you hear him turn over in the dark.
You scared?
He whispers. You think about lying. You don't.
Yeah.
You say.
Me too.
He says. That's all. You don't talk about it again, but it helps. Knowing someone else is scared helps more than anything Briggs has taught you. 6 weeks pass. You are thinner, harder, quieter. You can strip a rifle blindfolded in under a minute. You don't know if it will be enough. April 28th, 1916, France. You cross the channel on a transport ship packed with men. Some pray, some play cards. You stand at the bow and watch the French coast appear through the mist. There it is. Boulogne smells of fish and something else underneath. Something burnt, something far away. You realize after a moment that what you're smelling is the front. The front is 40 miles away, and you can already smell it. You move by train, then on foot. The sound starts as something distant, like thunder that never stops. By the time you reach the reserve billet a barn, 4 miles behind the line, it is part of the air. Constant, heavy. You sleep on straw. The guns never stop. Reserve. 4 days in. On the 4th night, a shell lands in the field behind the barn. The ground shakes. The horses scream. It is the worst sound you have ever heard, and it goes on for a long time after the shell has stopped. Nobody sleeps after that. In the morning, 2 men from C Company are carried past the barn on stretchers. One of them has bandages over both eyes. You ask one of the older soldiers what happened. He says,
Gas.
He doesn't look at you when he says it.
Stop asking questions you don't want answers to.
You stop asking. 2 weeks in reserve. Then the front. You are walked to the line at night. Single file. Through a narrow trench that cuts deep into the earth. The guide moves fast. He doesn't speak. You follow the boots in front of you and try not to trip. You arrive at midnight. The trench is 8 feet deep and 3 feet wide. The walls are held up by wooden frames. The The floor is wooden slats laid over standing water. The water smells like mud and rust and things you don't want to name. Beyond the sandbag wall above you is the wire. Beyond the wire is no man's land. Beyond no man's land, about 110 yards away, is the German front line. The corporal in charge of your section is named Ashworth. He is 24. He has been here 8 months. He shows you your spot on the fire step, the ledge you stand on to see over the parapet, and says one thing.
Keep your head below the top, always. The man before you forgot once.
He doesn't say, what happened to the man before you? He doesn't need to. First dawn, stand to. Every man on the fire step. Rifle up, bayonet, fixed. You stare out at the wire and the broken ground in the gray light before sunrise. This is when attacks happen. So this is when you stand and watch and wait. Nothing comes. The light grows. The order passes down the line.
Stand down! Brew up!
Your legs are shaking when you step off the fire step. The man next to you is Davies, 23 years old, Manchester, 7 months in. He hands you a tin cup of tea. Too sweet,
First stand to.
he says. It isn't a question,
You're still holding the rifle like it's going to save you.
he says.
It might not. Either way, drink the tea.
You drink the tea. Day 4. A sniper bullet comes during the morning stand to. You hear it before you understand it. A sharp crack. Then a sound you will never describe to your mother. Fletcher is standing 2 yards to your left on the fire step. He raised his head half an inch too high above the parapet. That is all it takes. Half an inch. Ashworth pulls you back before you can move toward him.
Don't.
He says quietly.
Stay down. Stay down.
You stay down. You stare at the duckboards under your boots. You think about Fletcher's dog. You think about him talking in his sleep. You think about him whispering, "Me too," in the dark of the barracks 3 weeks ago. You don't cry. Not yet. Later, in the dugout, you do. Davies sits nearby and says nothing, and that is exactly the right thing to do. That night, you write to your mother. You tell her the food is fine. You tell her the men are good. You do not tell her about Fletcher. Day 6. The bombardment. You are eating when it starts. German shells. The first one lands 200 yards to the left, and you feel it in your back teeth. Then Ashworth is moving and shouting.
Dugout! Now! Move!
8 men in a hole cut into the back of the trench wall, held up by timber. You pull a heavy curtain across the entrance. Outside, the world becomes noise. Each shell that lands close shakes the earth and drops dirt from the ceiling onto your hands. The man across from you prays out loud. Davies stares straight ahead. There is nothing you can do. That is the hardest part. You grip your rifle, even though your rifle cannot help you here. You make yourself small. You wait 40 minutes. Then silence. 30 yards to your left, part of the trench wall has collapsed. 2 feet of chalk and timber over the duckboards. No men underneath. They made it to the dugout in time. You spend the next 3 hours digging it out by hand.
Keep moving.
Ashworth says.
Working keeps the head quiet.
He's right. Day 9. Gas. 5:40 a.m. You are on the fire step at stand 2 when you hear it. A hollow rattling. Someone beating a shell casing on wire. The sound travels down the line fast.
Gas! Gas! Masks
Your
on!
hand goes to the bag at your hip before you've thought about it. Rubber mask. Glass eyepieces. You get it over your face and pull the straps tight. The world goes small. You hear your own breathing, loud and close. A yellowish-green cloud moves across no man's land. Low to the ground. Slow. It finds the dips and the craters, and it keeps coming. You stand on the fire step and breathe inside your mask and watch it. You think about the man with bandages over his eyes, outside the barn. You don't move until Ashworth gives the word.
Clear. Masks off.
You pull the mask off. The morning air hits your face, cold and clean. You stand there and just breathe it. Something that simple has never felt so good. Davies looks at you. You both know what almost just happened. Neither of you says it out loud. Day 11, night patrol. 3 men. You, Davies, Ashworth. The objective is a shell crater 65 yards out. Last night's patrol heard digging from the German side. If they are pushing a tunnel toward your line, the officers need to know. Before you go over the top, Ashworth looks at you both.
Slow.
He says,
Slow is quiet. Quiet is alive.
you go out on your stomach through a gap in your own wire, rifle on your back, face covered in mud. Everything that could make a sound has been wrapped or left behind. You follow Ashworth's boots in the dark. That is your whole world. Just those boots. Just the next 6 inches of ground. 15 minutes out, a star shell goes up from the German line. A soft thump, then white light floods everything. You are already flat because Ashworth went flat. You press your face into the mud. You don't move. You don't breathe loud. The light sweeps over you. It goes out. The dark comes back. You keep moving. You reach the crater and slide in. The bottom holds 8 inches of freezing water. It goes straight through your boot. You get up the far side and you listen. Silence. Then, a sound. Metal hitting earth. Steady. Close. About 30 yards from the German wire. They are digging. Ashworth grabs your arm. One squeeze. He heard it too. Time to go. He moves. Davies follows. You follow Davies. Then Davies' boot catches the wire. One sound. Just one. A single vibration through the coil. Everyone stops. 10 seconds of silence. 10 seconds that feel like 10 years. A German voice, low, asking something. Another voice, closer. Davies works his boot free, one careful inch at a time. You watch the dark in front of you. You think about Fletcher, about your mother folding your clothes the night before you left, about the photograph she put in your bag without saying anything. You think, just don't move. Just be still. Just get back to the trench. The voices go quiet. Davies is free. You move. Not fast, in wire, in the dark gets you killed. Slow and careful. The 65 yards back to your own trench takes 12 minutes. The 12 longest minutes of your life. You drop into the trench. You sit against the wall. Your hands are shaking. You let them shake. Ashworth goes to report. Davies sits next to you, his shoulder against yours. Neither of you speaks. He doesn't make a joke. That tells you everything about how close it was. Later, in the dugout, you take your mother's letters out of your breast pocket, the whole stack. You don't open them, you just hold them. You think about Fletcher. You think about the dead man out there in no man's land whose hand was touching your boot tonight. You don't know his name. You don't know which side he was on. He has been there long enough that nobody is coming back for him. Someday, someone might come back for you. You have to believe that. You write to your mother. You tell her you are fine. You tell her the men around you are good. You do not tell her about Fletcher. You do not tell her about the hand in the mud. You do not tell her about the wire or the gas or the sound a shell makes when it is close enough to matter. You seal the envelope. You put it with the others to go out in the morning. Outside, the rats move along the duckboards. The guns run somewhere to the south. The Somme is 30 miles away. In 3 months, on July 1st, 60,000 British soldiers will become casualties in a single day. You don't know that yet. Nobody does.